Okay, very well. Looks like I'm all set. Now, unlike yesterday, I was a little bit more prepared. So this time around, I actually pulled my references beforehand and did a little bit of a sketch. This one would be called Weave. And when I thought of weaving, I thought of boxing. So this is how it looks like. The only extra details that I wanted to have is like so here the boxing. I want to add a little bit of texture to the boxing glove. So that it will feel more like one of them. And same goes for this side. So there's a little bit of a texture to the boxing glove. Also, it's probably should be gray as a color. I think I'm gonna do it gray out. A little bit of cross-hatching. Maybe today I have more time. So it should work in my favor. Now for the ears. This time is not, we're not elfing, so should be closer to reality. Maybe it just grazes his ears. Okay. So that looks like enough details for me. I think I can go from there. Oh, wait. So the gloves have a little bit of a fold over here. Maybe I can, try and put it like that. So it feels less like it's baby's move. You can put maybe a highlight over here and over here and same over there. Looks good. I already thought about highlighting in other areas, but that should work fine. Also, now that I think about it, this texture, this guy is a band-aid, but the glove is still under. So this should be much larger. And this is where the glove actually fits. Okay. Yeah, sounds about right. At least it looks neat. So let's try to... Let's ink this. The fuck did I put my hair? Here. Very well. Now, for today, I think... This is dropping. I think I'm gonna take the advice of Marc Brunet, because I remembered about him saying to change the brush increase and decrease to CMV, so that would look probably better. How my keyboard is being set up at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't quite remember where to go. It has to be tools, right? Tools and pen, which now is an S. But that wouldn't be it. Menu commands. Pop-ups, options. Okay, brush size, there you go. So that would be a C. Yes, I know it's already in use. That would be a V. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna try like that. So, let's give it a try. They have a bit more time, and since I don't have to look out for the sketch, I can be a tiny bit neater. Not so much. Don't quite love to be. I'm a perfectionist. I used to be a perfectionist, but it got very old very fast. It just didn't really feel that good. So always worry about every teeny bit line. I think it doesn't really do also much in terms. Oh wait, no, this one should be moving. So let's redact these parts, and I think we're gonna go to 15. Yeah, 15 looks good. And at this place we're gonna try to make the form using the moving lines. Gonna be honest, this thing sucks balls. Well, to some degree it's relaxing because there's not much to be thinking about. But goddamn, I can't imagine being under stress for like how's it called for when you're out of time and you have to deliver something and you're stuck doing these stupid fucking lines. Well, I guess if someone is a professional, they will have assistants that do this. But still, it sounds silly as shit. I think I probably should not complain too much about it. So I have to do it just for one round. So I think I'm gonna take the glove. Cool thing is it doesn't require much skill, just patience, and it looks kind of fast. Okay. So here would be shadowing, so I'm gonna close it up. Just go for a second round and close it up. Sick. Okay, this one reads good. And again, a little bit over here, a little bit over there. Yeah, it looks faster like that. Could probably gone a little longer with it. Like I think the last ones can probably just go for the. No, it will feel natural that they extend like that, you know, from side to side. Maybe I feel it feels better if I'm rotated like that. And let's make a couple. When I think about manga, I think they do like 3 or 4, and feels it will lead into it. Now for our main boy, he's not gonna move that much, so I'm gonna reserve it for maybe the eyes. Okay, the eyes would be nice. So for the body, I'm gonna use a 20, and for anything else, I'm gonna go a little bit shorter. Okay. Yeah, so this looks about nice. For the boxing ones, gonna smooth a lot this stretched part. Yeah, this is gonna give it just a little bit of texture, so it doesn't look bizarre or uncanny. Oh, I think it doesn't. Yeah, and it's supposed to be gray, but I'm gonna play with the gray as the last result. Resolve, maybe. Let's finish the arm. Very well. In the hair, yeah, I think that the biggest chunks are gonna be starting out like that. Yeah, I have to work it out in a different way, maybe. Like, let's try and work it out from the foreground and go behind. This way it looks a tiny bit better. Yep, definitely. So if we work at 17 for the face details, that would probably be nice. I was really confused by that day's prompt because weaving, or confused is not the correct term. It would be more like annoyed, because I thought of weaving. The first definition that comes to mind is it would be to weave wool, but then I couldn't be bothered to draw some wool or some weaving. And I really want to focus on the people side, so I was extremely annoyed by that definitions. Then I thought of Billboard, and in some special he went like bob and weave, and that really stayed with me. So I thought, well, how about a couple of boxers that they bob and weave? That sounds a little more in my alley. Okay. And so far, so good. Actually, asked also for help from my GF girlfriend. She really liked to collaborate on stuff. So it would be nice if we did it together, or at the very least plan it together and then gonna execute most of it. She really isn't into drawing, but I think that she has a knack for it. It just take a long time before you can get better. So I can relate for her also not wanting to go through trouble. Okay, let's put some texture to work, and then that would be fine. Before the texture, I probably want to gray out the boxing gloves. Gonna go, I don't know how gray should the red be. Like, honest to God, my color theory is not the best. It's probably not even the worst, just doesn't, it's not there. Does this look gray enough? I think it looks even way too much gray. Yeah, this looks fine. Okay, no. Let's put it under. Why am I... Okay. Right, better. The fuck is this? Okay, very well. I don't know how strong of a highlight it would be if I make it fully white. I think I'm gonna put just a tiny bit of a grayish on that side because it will feel way too strong, in my opinion, if I go straight up into white. It's ironic about thinking about colors in gray and white. I'm planning to do a comic book, and that I think, well, I'm still not set on the title, so the style is probably the last one. I think I'm gonna go with color. It's just that on my skill level, I don't think first it makes any difference if my comic book is color or not. It's still gonna take a long ass time. So personally, I don't think it's going to be much of a difference. But even then, Webtoon is way too big to pass out. The vertical format is sadder, or should I say, less permissive. So my idea would be to go both routes and have it be either you can read it traditional way or a Webtoon way. And I saw I wasn't the only creator to think about that. So it makes me hopeful that it would work. Problem with color is that I'm not like a huge nerd in that. I think I can be seen the clothings. I usually tend to go blue and black and not think too much, don't take too much care in where it goes and how should I can try to not be stupid with it, but I don't really think about it. So it makes me to believe that it would be a little bit different. I know what I would like it to look like. Every time you try to replicate something like that, it usually doesn't work as great as it could be. So if I take a softer one and make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, that works quite nice. Yep. I don't know if this is cheating about the ink part, but whatever. And let's texture a little bit the face. Yeah. So let's define the hairline, because this over here is a hairline, right? But yeah, all of this worrying is probably useless until my comic book is actually started in drawing production, or at the very least up until I don't start designing. But even designing part is I'm still not passionate to go about it. Ironically, the part which I used to hate the most, which would be the writing, I'm scripting out most of it to what's happening. That's the part that I used to dread the most, and that's now the part that I actually enjoy actively doing and can do without the big problems. But that only happened because I thought I knew that would be my first step, so I actually took some time and started writing it up without really worrying about how it turns out. And now it's being quite solid, if I can say so myself. Problem with writing is you can't really judge yourself how you write. It's hard to have feedback on something that's not a book. So that I sympathize a lot with screenwriters, because screenwriters don't have the same privilege that most of us have to get good feedback, unless you're in a circle of screenwriters, which I'm not. And I don't expect, well, I tried so that my friends read it, but I understand them not caring to read, caring enough to read. It's really boring because you're the one who has to work it out in order to be able to read it. So that's a big ask. Even asking to read a novel, it's bigger, but I can bust on reading a novel in, like, I don't know. Last time I checked, it was like 15 pages. It was about 1 page in a minute and a half. Like, little less than 1 page per minute. So if it's not that big of a novel, I can read it in an afternoon. Even though reading now has become much harder. Now, to be fair, I never chose good reads. Or should I say, easygoing reads. I always went the harder route. Like, I tried to read the Odyssey, waving on the fact that riding on the epic roots. I thought, well, Odyssey looks like a great novel, and actually, it's quite dated in the sense that it really feels old, which makes sense because it is old. But it's not fun. Doesn't actually. It's harder to relate as of today. You get used to more sympathetic protagonists, and even how they speak, it's very bizarre, and that makes it harder to get into. I think the demands of the audience has gone up because the attention has gone down. So it would always feel worse to tell a story now that it was to tell a story some other day. Or should I say back in the day? And the back in the day could even be like 20 years ago. It's easier to notice in it's easier to notice by looking at a movie during the 2000s. Even the quickest one are actually take their time. I think introductions now has to be always as fast as possible, because people won't let you go around and do nothing for 30 minutes, especially in movies. But even in comic books, I'm super surprised that Solo Leveling was able to capture a lot of people. I thought people would quit it because the first part, it's really a dread. Not that it gets that much better, but one thing that you could say by the later part of Solo Leveling, it's fun. Sure, it's not anime of the year level of deepness or writing prowess. I agree. But I always try to think why does something has value? Because at the end of the day, even if you have the best novel out there, like, it's gonna be like a sidetracking stuff, but think about Van Gogh. Like, yes, sure, he had made an incredible mark and whatever, But the thing is, at his time, he was not that appreciated. And I don't know that I feel leaving behind a good legacy and suffering in the meanwhile. Think a happy middle be to try to do both something that people like and something that you're satisfied as well. Let's take a look if it's my girlfriend. I usually try to not completely vanish when it's about her. Also because I'm vibing a lot, so I don't think I want to completely ignore her, but if she's way too chatty, I'm gonna have to shut it down for this time. A bit of shadow on the gloves could also be nice. Gonna be honest, I don't know what I'm going for here, but why not? Thinking that probably all of this side could go in shadow because of the arm. So if I can get like a straighter line like this. This could look cool. Or maybe not, you know. But yeah, happy medium is probably to try both to make something that you're very proud, but also something that somebody else can easily get into and can easily appreciate. Because at the end of the day, it's still a shared kind of content. So being way too precious or way too artsy with it is not gonna help you out that much in general. That's something that I keep in mind as I'm writing my comic book. There is value into people wanting to engage in your content. Kind of like cross hatching is very, it's very satisfying. So one way in which I could put some highlights, I think making it open like that. And the one highlight usually can go even like here, not like that. Like the nose is a highlighting point, but I don't know of other points in which I can highlight it better. Yeah, like if the light source is from, oh, of course, if the light source is from right, probably should put it on this side of the nose. And maybe even like these sides. Could also have a bruise or something. We're still talking about a fighter. Don't know how to make a bruise. Like this is something I don't know how this would read into a bruise. Like it has to be a blacker eye or a like more the downwards Attack on Titan stuff, you know. Or I could build up the circle, making his nose be a little wavy also could help. But that's not what I'm looking at. I think this face is way too smooth. I like to put a tiny bit of character in it. Like a black eye or a patch of blood. I don't understand where do we go with this. But having my second monitor not be seeable, it's kinda scuffed. Say boxer face beat up. That should do as reference. Oh yes, so a cut would work great. Couple of cuts here and there. God damn, it's very hard to look at. Probably better if I don't show. I think a black eye and some cuts. So maybe over here. And could drip a little bit of blood. And looks like the black eye would work like in this direction. So very close to the eye socket. Yeah. I'm not gonna busy myself with a bird or anything like that. Like a little bit of dirt would work nice. Some blood on some bloody nose. Like shaped as a... Because the blood will drip, right? And if we make it dark, it should not look like his nose is dripping, you know? Okay, this is way too close. You can go even... Okay, so now the center is the one with the details. Still looks like he has a cold. Still too clean. His face is simply too clean. A lip cut sounds good. Yeah. Lip cuts are actually kinda easy. Let's mix up all my layers. So line art, this one. Is the... Okay. So let's mix them. Merge selected. Okay. A cut shouldn't be that bad. Like let's make the upper lip, you know. Looks like a fang. God damn it. Still don't land way too much. Oh, the red eye. I think that the eye details would look closer because the eyes are veiny, right? So if I can make some kind of vein converging towards the pupil, that looks terrifying. Okay, change of plans. I'm gonna make some veins closer to the pupil, so like that. Still looks bizarre. Now he looks like a lizard. God damn it. More human. Sure. Yeah. And ooh, some tape. Tape's great. Tape's amazing. Yep. Tape's good. I say the power of reference is amazing. Still, I have to think how do I render blood without it look like dripping. One way in which this, I think the only way that works, because you tend to wipe it out, right? So it's gonna go like, there's gonna be some kind of a circle. And it feels a little dried out. And it even can go way around here. So it also shapes a little bit the nose. And yeah, that's about it. I don't think that I can render more without it looking junky. So for today, for the advent, mm, for the Inktober looks good. I can think about more details because it doesn't take me way too long to sketch it out. So tomorrow's, I'll try to make it. I try to add the details inside the sketch and see how that works out. Yeah. Let's export it, but this time, unlike last time, I tried to not export using my my sketch layer underneath. I was in the office and I noticed, I was showing to my friends my drawing and I noticed how I exported with the layer underneath, and that was devastating. But then I remembered I'm lazy, so I'm not gonna do anything else. This is number 2. And I'm gonna cut it short today. I'm still getting back into streaming, so going for more than an hour it feels counterproductive. Also because I'm gonna take a break even from drawing at the moment. Really, I don't think it's much of a use to overdo it. I can try to make drawing and even streaming as accommodating to me as I can. And stretching out to 2 hours no matter what feels wrong. And again, adding more details here I think will ruin the piece. Like right now it's in a happy place for me. For my skill level this is happy. Doesn't look amazing but doesn't look even bad. So I will see you tomorrow for the third day.